Welcome to another video. I'm Dougie here at the Golf Clan. Just want to thank you for stopping by the channel, and in today's video we are reviewing my round and my experience at the Robert Trent Jones Ross Bridge golf course just outside of Birmingham, Alabama. My experience at Ross Bridge was top-notch across the board. It's a course that I've wanted to play for a while, and as I've educated myself about the Robert Trent Jones Trail being located in Atlanta, Georgia, not too far from a lot of the courses of the Robert Trent Jones Trail, I thought I have to start checking out some of these places. And the more that I read about it, the more that I saw Ross Bridge is the crown jewel. It is one of the premier destinations of the Robert Trent Jones Trail, and right outside of Birmingham, Alabama, not too far of a drive. So made the day drive over, woke up super early, got there for the sunrise, started walking around Ross Bridge, and my intention was to play the short course at Oxmoor in the morning and then to go over and play a twilight round at Ross Bridge. But from the second that I set foot on the property at Ross Bridge, it was breathtaking. I didn't want to leave, and so I spent the entire day at Ross Bridge. What stuck out to me from the get-go was the rolling terrain, some of the lakes and waterfalls, the trees, the mulch, the pine straw, the views. I mean, every hole just seems to be framed by trees, framed by water. The natural beauty of the place was astonishing. And it felt, to be honest with you, it felt like a mini Augusta. Never been to Augusta, but from what I hear about Augusta, everything is just perfect. The grass, every blade of grass is perfect, every mulch, every bunker is raked, etc. And Ross Bridge had that feeling from the beginning. Just had that natural beauty of the, as I was saying, you know, being in the South here, there's just a sense of beauty here in how the natural land and how the landscape appears. So great impressions to start off with, and I want to get into playing Ross Bridge, and I want to get into playing Ross Bridge from the tips. And the tips at Ross Bridge are about 8,200 yards. Crazy, right? But I did a poll on Instagram, and about 70% of people said play the tips, just for the experience. So I played the tips at 8,200 yards, and to be honest with you, it wasn't as bad as I thought. I drove the ball pretty well. I hit, majority of balls I hit into the fairway off the tee, and it's one of those courses where if you hit the ball moderately long, if you hit it over 280 yards off the tee and you're hitting fairways, it doesn't seem crazy long. Like, my idea of what the course would be like was, par fours where I'm hitting driver and then I'm hitting 5-wood into the green. That wasn't the case. I was hitting driver and then I was hitting 5 or 6 iron into the green. And I was hitting my long irons well, very, very well. So it didn't seem overly long, and I think a couple factors helped out with that. One is that the fairways were pretty wide, and having wide fairways, it's just nice. Even if you're missing your target off of the tee, you're hitting it 20 yards right to your target, likely you're still in the fairway there, because a lot of the fairways are just pretty expansive here. Secondly, a lot of elevated tees, especially playing the tips. So having elevated tees shortened a lot of the holes. So for example, hole number 2, probably 485 yard par 4, probably 20 yards downhill off the tee. So I hit it over 300 yards because of the downhill slope elevation there, and didn't have more than maybe a 7 iron into the green. So it didn't seem as painful as I expected. But again, I drove the ball well. So if you're not driving the ball well, it's going to be a very, very long day. The next thing that I want to get into about playing Ross Bridge from the tips, the views. Playing from the back tees, you just got the best views of the course, period. So many of the holes would have the normal tees, and then the tees that were further back were elevated. And so getting that extra elevation, it just allows you to see the course from a different perspective, one that you wouldn't see otherwise if you weren't playing from over 8,000 yards. In my experience playing Ross Bridge was great because I played very well, right? So I shot an even par 36 on the front, and I got through hole 16 on the back. I believe I was 3 over par on the day when I had to pick up because it was just complete and utter darkness. So playing the course well also maybe makes me like the course even better. I just had a good day. I was striking the ball well. The greens were huge and pretty fair. They weren't lightning quick, and I was able to kind of put together a pretty decent round. I'm kind of sad that I wasn't able to finish because that would have been a great round playing from 8,200 yards and shooting mid-70s, right? So had a great time at Ross Bridge. It's a course I highly recommend. I got to check out the Renaissance Lodge, and the lodge is just tremendous. It's an awesome destination. The range is pure. The practice facilities are pure. It's about 5 minutes from Oxmoor, which has, I believe, 54 holes. They have the 18-hole short course of par 3s only. They have Oxmoor Valley and they have Oxmoor Ridge. And so all the golf that you could want to play in a golf trip is right there within 10 minutes of you. You just stay on the property. Highly recommend checking out Ross Bridge, part of the Robert Trent Jones Trail. Had an awesome experience. I was pinching myself throughout the day, just thinking, is this place even real? Is it real? I mean, you got butterflies flying around. You got perfectly manicured fairways and bunkers and greens and tee boxes. It just felt like golf paradise, golf as it's meant to be played. And I can't wait to go back and play. I've talked to my dad. I really want to play Ross Bridge with my dad. It's also a great place if you have buddies that you play golf with. You take a guy's trip. It's just an awesome course. It's an awesome venue. Pretty good weather being in Alabama. Pretty good weather year-round, so should have a lot of opportunities to play Ross Bridge. Thank you so much for tuning in to this course review video of Ross Bridge. Highly recommend it, as I said. And I hope you got to see some of the course vlog videos. Had an awesome time playing. It's a beautiful property. Played well, and I can't wait to go back and play Ross Bridge again. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Dougie from the Golf Clan, signing out.